What a day it was for Banditland. The Buffalo Bandits take home the championship for the third straight year, become the second team in NLL history to have a three-peat, the other one being in Rochester from 2012 to 2014. And this was a close one. This was definitely a tough series. I think overall wise, it was out of three-peat, this was probably the most challenging one, I would say. It's the first two games were completely back and forth. Buffalo kind of escapes with the win. They kind of come back from behind late in the game for the game one to win that by 2. The other one, Saskatchewan had the lead for majority of the game, and just Buffalo just couldn't get back into it, only falling short by 1 goal. And then going to the pivotal winner-take-all game 3, it was the same thing like that. It was back and forth. It was intense the first half. If you go on here, I see the final score 15-6 here. I don't think I break down the scoring-wise. Yeah. So Saskatchewan takes an early lead right into the game, and it's 1-0. Bandits answer back, tie it at 1, and it goes back and forth to that point when we are at this point for the first quarter, it's 3-2 Saskatchewan in this one, and then Buffalo kind of goes off in a 5 unanswered goal stretch, where they're up 7-3 at this point. Or sorry, 3-3 at the end of the first, and then 7-3 at some point in the second quarter. And then Saskatchewan kind of brings it back, scores 3 goals, almost scores one at the end of before half to make it 7-6. So again, you're seeing that kind of the power struggle there of the back and forth chess play. And once the second half started, it was all Buffalo since then. They completely shut out Saskatchewan in that game and end up blowing them out, scoring 8 unanswered goals in this one. And it was crazy. It was definitely, again, like the first half was intense. It was frustrating at times. I think Buffalo was just, once they kind of hit the 7-3 score, it just seemed like they hit a kind of brick wall. They were kind of taking bad shots, just weren't able to get good looks. And it was Saskatchewan. I mean, give them credit. I think they made great adjustments at that point to really get themselves back in. And then Matt Vince really just shut them down at that point, and Buffalo just took off at that point. And it was fun, and that of course led to the eventual win, securing the three-peat and dynasty, arguably the greatest dynasty in NLL history, or at least one of them up there. Apparently, if you want to compare them to other teams as well, and I kind of look at for your points leaders for everything all across the board, for your goal scorer, most goals for the game for the Bandits, Josh Byrne, assists Josh Byrne, points Josh Byrne, penalty minutes was Steve Perillo, shots on goal was Josh Byrne, loose balls was Nick Wheels, goals allowed. Again, you see that obviously from the final score, and saves 42-38 to Matt Vince in this one. And it was surprising that Matt Vince, I thought, was maybe was going to win the finals MVP in this one. That actually was, if you get back here, that was Ian Mackey who won that. So we have in the three-peat, we've had 3 different final MVPs. It'd be Dane Smith, Josh Byrne, and now Ian Mackey in this one. So what does this mean for the Bandits now since they completed the three-peat? What does it mean for the legacy, the franchise, and so forth? Well, like I said in the beginning, it is the second team ever to three-peat in this one. So that is a huge monumental statement right there in the league. Again, going back to Rochester, 2012 to 2014 was the first one. They also have now they eclipse Toronto and Philadelphia as the most championships in NLL history with 7. The other 2, of course, being tied with them with 6. What else does it mean for not just for the team wise, but also just player wise for some of these legacies? Let's start with Matt Vince, the GOAT. You can probably say arguably maybe the Michael Jordan of the NLL. He is the one thing he can say for now, and I think it probably stand for a while. Is again going back to the history. There are only 2 teams in the history of this league that have three-peated, and yet he was part of both of them. That is a huge statement. 6-time champ, 2 three-peats, and we're gonna go through the accolades here because there was a lot to write down on here. Am Levy. Give credit to him for this. He's a 6-time NLL champion, 8-time NLL goaltender of the year, holds a regular season career record for minutes played, saves made, and goalies win, holds the playoff record for most minutes played, saves made, and goalies wins, holds the NLL record for most games played, regular season and postseason combined. You go on the list, I mean, he's the GOAT. He's above, he's one of one. He is no doubt the undisputed GOAT of goalies in that NLL league, and no doubt, he's going to have his, along with a couple others we'll get into real quick, in a minute, he's going to have his jersey retired in Buffalo. No doubt about that. I mean, there's probably going to be a few of them, no doubt, that's going to be, once all said and done, they're going to have a few more numbers hanging the banners for the Bandits. Matt Vince is going to be one of them. Again, the greatest goaltender of all time, and was a part of a dynasty in this one, 2 of them per se. So you have that, and also for Josh Byrne and Dane Smith. I mean, you look at their legacies for what they accomplished. I mean, for Dane Smith, 3-time champ, 3-peat, 1-time Finals MVP, 2-time MVP, 3-time first team. He has the record for regular season wise for goals, assists, and points record. You look at Josh Byrne, 3-time champ, again 3-peat, 1-time Finals MVP, 1-time MVP, and 1-time Offensive Player of the Year. This is in 2024. So no doubt, I feel comfortable saying those two guys, number 22 and number 92, are both going to have the numbers in the rafters, along with 48 when it's all said and done years from now. So there's a lot of things that happen in this one, and it's awesome to see this. When you throw dynasty around in Buffalo sports, it's weird, because of course we are used to the opposite side of the championship wise. For of course the Bills, the opposite with losing 4 straight, the Sabres heartbreak after heartbreak in this one, and it's just again it's a weird feeling, and I know it's not going to get the credit it deserves because of just lacrosse not being a big sport in America. As when you're talking about in the sports media, we're always looking at football, basketball, baseball, a little bit of hockey, but even when you have teams like the Tampa Bay Lightning that went to 3 straight 1-2, you just don't really hear too much from a lot of fans. Like, at least not just in the media, but just outside fans. You always hear about Kansas City and NBA of player teams you want to talk about. So again, they're not going to unfortunately not going to get the recognition, and maybe a lot of people are going to blow it off because of just again not being a big sport or not really caring or not a lot of teams in the league per se. But it's a huge moment, I think, for Buffalo sports, because again we don't have a lot of championship history to hang on to. We're not Boston. We're not it's not like we have the Celtics, the Patriots, the Red Sox, or whoever we want, or other teams you want to throw at LA. It's just again it's a bad history of winning championships and coming up short. So to have a team like this throwing out a dynasty and be on the right side of it's monumental. And I don't know how much more how much farther they can keep this going. I mean, certainly they're going to try and go after the 4-peat, which would be absolutely insane if that does happen. Is there any signs of them slowing down? I don't know. I mean, these guys are definitely getting up there in age, with Burden, Dane Smith being in their 30s now, Matt Vince, I think, being 42 at this point. So, I mean, we don't know how long. I don't know how much longer he's going to play, or if he wants to still keep playing at this point. He could retire, and it's what a way to go off in the sunset. But at the same time, too, if he can get a 4-peat, that's just insane. On top of that, but again, it's exciting in Buffalo to see this happen, and to see that a rare feat in this one in this league. Again, no matter how much stock you want to put in the cross and all that, or how much you want to put for respectable part of it, but it's it's an amazing point for Buffalo sports, and congrats to them to do an amazing a phenomenal accomplishment to go 3 straight, and really since. Unfortunately, they lose a couple of years because of COVID, so who knows what happened at that point. But 5 straight championship appearances from 19 to 22 to 25. It jumps, unfortunately, because we lost 2 years from 2020 and 2021. So you have 19, 22, 23, 24, 25. So you have 5 straight championship appearances and a 3-peat in that one. So, again, arguably one of the greatest dynasty in NL history. We'll see if they can add to it next year.